Hey, welcome into another episode of the PH Factor, and this, I have to say, is one of my favorites. It's actually a year anniversary of us starting the podcast, and we started it last year talking about the Veterans Day Radiothon with Q106, and look who's here. It's Steph from Q106 who's helping us out again. How are you, Steph?
Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. Happy 1-year podcast anniversary. But we worked together for many years before that. And the Veterans Day Radiothon is one of my favorite days because on Veterans Day, how many of us always say, what can I do for our veterans? They've done so much for us. They've served. I haven't served. I want to give as much as I can. So letting our veterans stay in their homes, helping them stay in their homes with Project Home, serving those who served us. I mean, it's a win-win. I'm so happy.
I love this day too. We talk about some tough things because there are some tough things to talk about. We got some problems, we got some stuff we're trying to work on. But we also, it's so rejuvenating. It's a great day to feel people's attention and their dedication to our veterans and wanting to support them and help them out. And, Project Home is just a small piece of what we can do to help our vets. But we love that the community comes together on this day for now our 4th annual Radiothon to show the love, support us, support the program, keep it going, because this is a locally funded program, Steph. I mean, like we've talked about before, it's one of the only things like it in the whole state and the whole country, specifically for low to moderate income veterans. And we're trying to help just keep them in their homes, make the home safe, healthy. Yeah. That's the key. That's the goal. So you guys help us do that. And so do your listeners, which we really, really love. Love your listeners, Steph.
Oh man, the Q106 family is the best. So much so we've now coined the term Q-munity instead of community. And it's so true. I mean, your Project Home, serving those who served, Radiothon idea, Jason Hafman. I hope you feel the love, and I want to give you a big round of applause from the community, because every year while we're doing this Radiothon, other counties start calling us in the studio saying, how do I bring this idea to my county? Because right now it's Dane County that these veterans get served in. Has it grown a little bit since that time? Is there any other surrounding areas that have progressed now from this Radiothon and hearing your messaging and hearing, yes, it can be done, do it in your county?
We've seen some things kind of popping up, Steph, which is inspiring. That was kind of one of the ideas when I looked around and first started this project. And had the opportunity to do that with some supporters locally and through Project Home. It's one of those things where somebody's got to start it. Somebody's got to do it first, right? And Project Home, we've been around 50 years. We know what we're doing. It's the same type of work. It was just a matter of finding some additional support to make something specifically for veterans. So they had some extra resources. And I will point out, one of the things that I love about this program and the project is that, so there's a weatherization program, which many people are aware of. But there are people that can't quite qualify for weatherization that still need some help. We can't help all of them, but with this veterans program, we can do energy efficiency work, long-term energy saving investments that bring down people's bills, saves them money, makes them more comfortable, and we can do that for some of our veterans at least, and make just a little bit too much income that are out of the weatherization income bracket, but are still low to moderate income. So we're able to do that too with this project, which is fantastic.
That is good, especially because it's tough when you hear a veteran who has served and they're making a little bit too much money. So now they can't get those programs. It's like, what? No, we need to help all of you. What do you need? You served us. Now it's our turn to serve you. And I'm so happy we're doing the Radiothon again, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Q106. You can download the Q106 app. So if you're outside the Madison listening area, I know my dad and family in the Milwaukee area, they love listening to the Radiothon every year because my dad is one of those people who's never served, but he also hates hearing the stories of homeless veterans. He wants to keep our veterans in their homes. So he participates every year. So download the Q106 app so you don't miss out, because something new this year, can I say?
What do you got, Steph? What is it? You're cooking something over there.
We have some really cool auction items. So last year we had one auction item, a Taylor Swift autograph guitar. And that was such a cool thing to have and see the bidding war happen. And that, I think, was over $800, $1,000 donation from that guitar. And we're going to have several auction items this year. Woohoo!
That's fantastic. I do remember that Taylor Swift guitar because I had to keep my nephew from bidding on it. That was a key thing. I had to keep it hush hush. I told my brother, I was like, okay, I'm not going to let him know because he's going to try to spend all of his college money on this Taylor Swift guitar. He just
Yes.
started college this year, so he needed that money for that.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'll be a great day. Like Jason said, we're going to hear some heartbreaking stories, but sometimes you have to hear those eye-opening statistics to realize there is a need and I can be part of the solution. And then, of course, also the very heartwarming stories from some of our local veterans who have received services from Project Home. And then just the community and the great feeling of camaraderie on Veterans Day. So it's going to be great.
We've got some great sponsors involved too, and I'm going to talk on the other half of this podcast with Monica about that and about some of our sponsors. But Steph, you mentioned some of the numbers, and we'll go through those real quick. Here are some statistics. 16,000 Wisconsin veterans are unemployed. Okay, and these are old statistics, so it might be more than that since they probably haven't been able to study that to date. 58,000 vets in Wisconsin are disabled and have issues just getting around, right? So then you need adaptations to homes for those individuals, which we are also doing. And nearly 200,000 of Wisconsin's veterans served during World War II, the Korean War, or Vietnam. So those are vets aging in their homes. That's what we're all about at Project Home, allowing people to stay where they're comfortable and making those houses work for them still, right? What do you need? Let's make it work so you can stay where you're comfortable, stay in your house. So those are some of the things, the realities behind it. Now, what have we done, Steph? What have we done, right?
Tell me.
Okay,
I want to hear.
This is what we've done with the help of the community so far. $425,000 worth of repairs and improvements into vets' homes in the last 5 years, okay? That's
Wow.
38 local veteran homes repaired, improved, 29 of them senior citizen veterans, okay?
Nice.
96 total people between the vets and their families have been impacted by serving those who served, which you, the community, are awesome, have supported it.
Great.
17 of those vets are BIPOC members of our community. Okay, so we're getting there too. And another key demographic that we're hitting with this is 9 women veterans, homeowners of the 38. Because a lot of times the women vets, they don't get thought about as often. And hey,
Yeah.
they provide critical service to our country. So I love all that. That's some of the stuff we've done so far. We want to keep it going. This is 5 years now of the program, 4 years of the Radiothon. How do we do it, Steph? How do we keep it going?
By joining us during the Radiothon, Veterans Day, November 11th. We'll have links online. We'll have the phone numbers to call, and every dollar counts. So we can't thank you enough for joining us for our Radiothon with Project Home and Q106 on Veterans Day, serving those who serve.
Q106.com, find out all about it. ProjectHomeWI.org, you can find out more about it. We're going to have some fun too, right? During 13 hours, we got to have some fun too, Steph, along the way.
For sure. Some of my favorite moments are when some of the local heroes join us, the local veterans who join us and share their stories. Also get a little truth serum in them, talking about the VFWs and the great drinks that they have going on. But they're great. And all of the local community members coming together. We couldn't do without our supporters like Monica with Allstate.
So many good ones, and we'll talk more about them in the other half of this. Steph, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for doing everything you do. You, Randy, Bonnie, Kieran, the team have been awesome. I love that you guys were like, let's step it up this year to do even more for veterans in our community. And we are happy to be participating with you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jason.
And now we bring in our good friend, Monica Titley, who's an Allstate agent locally and a champion for Project Home and has helped out so many years with us doing various things, volunteering, helping to bring us additional support financially, and just a general good human being who does good stuff right here. So Monica, how are you? Thanks for being involved again this year with the Veterans Day Radiothon. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm happy to support such a great organization.
So let's go back on that before we get into the rest of it, Monica. It's been a long time that you've been supporting Project Home. How did that start and why? Like, how did this all come together? Because you've been with us for like 15 years, I want to say almost, or close to that.
close to that. I was 14, 15 years. Yeah. It's so weird. I actually had a previous boss that said, "Hey, Monica, we should do something in the community." And I said, "I think that's a fantastic idea." And he said, "Can you look at some organizations?" And I said, "Sure, I can do that for you." And so I looked around different nonprofits in the area and found Paint-a-thon. And we joined in painting someone's house. And ever since then, I just fell in love with Project Home and everything that you do, and continued to volunteer.
I think that's interesting because a lot of people like to volunteer and look for volunteer opportunities, but not ones that are as intensive as painting someone's house. So I will say though, I mean, I'm sure you agree that one of the coolest parts of a project like that, whether you're doing like a repair project, building a ramp, painting, what have you, is seeing the transformation, right, of that property in that homeowner's home and what it does for their lives.
Not only was I painting someone's houses, I was painting an old Victorian that had many different levels and was really big. So we're up on different roofs, and it was it was a great first experience. But it was an older gentleman house, and it's amazing. I'm an emotional person as it is because I just love people and I love helping. And so, oh, look, and I'm going to get teary eyed. So just speaking to him at the end and even through the process, he'd come out and check on us and look at the house, and just to see the excitement that he had by us just giving an afternoon and painting someone's house was life-changing for him. So what people don't realize is that it's sometimes more life-changing for us as volunteers than it is for someone's house that you're like transforming. I feel like I gained more than he did on that day.
Now, 5 years ago, we started this veterans program, and almost immediately you were on board with however you could help, you wanted to help. So, talk to me a little bit about how you've not just taken that same approach where we want to do things, we want to volunteer, but I also want to utilize some of your abilities and connections with Allstate, including the Allstate Foundation, to bring even more financial support to a project like our VETS program.
My husband is a veteran, and so I've always been a little passionate about it. In general, these people, I mean, I cannot believe they put their life on the lines for us. And any way that we can help them, I feel like we have an obligation of human beings to help them. So I thought it was a natural thing for us to see what we can do to help you. I've, like you've said before, I've given 15, 14 years of volunteering. And I just feel so blessed that I've been able to become an Allstate agent and now have the financial support that I can also give, not just my volunteer hours, the support. So when Allstate Foundation is giving $7.5 million out in a year, I raised my hand very enthusiastically and said, ooh, I've got a great organization that deserves some of that money. Unfortunately, you don't get the whole 7.5 million, but we are trying.
I think it's amazing. Your support has been very needed and so critical to us as we moved through the last few years. You know, there's always, with programs, with projects, with anything you start, especially as a nonprofit, as this is a program that's unique to Project Home for us, and we started our own, there are those changes. There are, changes in funders, in supporters, sometimes by year. And when you're trying to continue to do something like this project, like the Serving Those Who Serve project, sometimes you wonder, okay, what's that next year going to look like? Where's the money going to come from? And so to have consistent support from a group like the Allstate Foundation, but a big part of that being you and your involvement and your hand raised and voice speaking up for us is so crucial and critical and has helped us out so much. So I thank you for that. Also, one thing I wanted to ask, because I think this is really interesting too. You talk about that volume, right, of the amount going out to different organizations. We know this, it's nationwide. We know there's hundreds, maybe thousands of organizations involved in being, recipients of some of those dollars from the Allstate Foundation. To have an organization that is reputable, that you can trust, that's doing good with that money, what does that mean to you as an Allstate agent to be able to speak up for us?
Oh, that means everything. Absolutely everything. I have been so unbelievably proud on how Allstate stands behind us agents. They really look at us as the community leaders to where should we put this money? Where can we help you? Where can we support you? I bleed blue because of all of the support that they've given us. And I am so thankful over the years what Allstate has done for Project Home. It's been great. I'm very happy with it. And then I'm also happy with all the agents around the area who've joined in and said, yes, this is a great organization. Let's stand behind. So, when I send them the email saying, hey, here's another volunteer opportunity, I love the fact that they jump in and say, yes, we're going to help.
Monica, so we're getting set now as we look forward to the fourth annual Radiothon as we complete our 5th year of the program. This has really transitioned to become our big fundraiser. So why should people participate and help out? People that are out there, they're going to be listening to us on the radio. They're going to hear from Steph and me and you, and it's going to be great. But they're going to hear about important things we're trying to do, and also know that without their help, we can't do it. So what do you say to them about getting involved?
This is supporting our community members that have put their life on the line for our country. And I think if you can please just support our community members right here in our backyard that need and want and deserve to have a good home, functioning home where they can get around.
We're going to have more about numbers and statistics, and we'll talk about all those things too at the Radiothon. But Monica, you're a big part of helping us accomplish what we've done here over the last 5 years. So thank you for that. And thank you to the Allstate Foundation for their support. It's been wonderful. We look forward to having fun with you as well. Probably some tears, we know, on Veterans Day,
Always.
but also some fun. And you're going to be helping out with, and other agents can be helping out with some socials, getting information out there about the Radiothon while it's taking place, and also giving shout outs to donors and people that participate, because we really do appreciate the community stepping up for us on Veterans Day every year.
Absolutely. I thank you, Jason, for all that you and Project Home does. I mean, without you guys, then we wouldn't have the connection. So I am happy to help in any way. And it was a lot of fun last year having people calling in and opening their wallets. So looking forward to it again. Let's blow through last year's numbers this year.
We'll do our best. Thanks for your help again, Monica. Always great to talk with you. And we will connect with you again on Veterans Day.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jason.